Well guys, I do believe that Christmas did indeed come early this year, because last night on twitch.tv, you should totally check me out, we ended up getting a very special weapon live on stream, and I'm going to be showing you guys that clip in just a moment. But this weapon right here, known as the Storm King's Wrath, is the single best weapon in the entire game to use on the Storm King himself. Yes, you do indeed use the Storm King to indeed defeat the Storm King. It's a pretty great cycle. I was, a little bit excited to get this weapon, to say the least. I'm going to share that with you guys, then follow it up with a weapon review. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and thanks for watching. Thank you for the bits. I'm scared, I don't want to open it.
Yeah, just Alt F4 your game. You don't have to open it now, Joey. Save it for later.
Let's go! Yes! Let's go, boys!
Yeah.
Yes!
Let's go.
Yes!
Easy claps, bruh.
Yes! Oh my god!
Let's go.
Yes,
Yo!
dude!
He dead! Yo, he dead!
Let's go!
Yeah, there you go.
Oh
Let's
my
shoot it for the
god!
memes. Rocket ride me.
I haven't
Now
been
that
so happy
sounds
since
what
I
I
got
like
the
to call
Galahorn in
Horrendous,
Destiny.
actually.
Let's go!
Bro,
That's
this
really
is
how it
my
be, though.
God.
epic sauce.
Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so
Joey,
happy. Dude, we can
this
do
is
runs
epic
all
sauce.
weekend. Let's
It's gonna
go,
be easy
boys.
clap, dude.
Oh my god.
I guess we're all happy then, because I got the AR.
Oh,
Hell yeah, dude.
oh my Alrighty boys, welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? Guys, today we're going to be talking about the Storm King's Wrath, which is the new Mythic rocket launcher within Fortnite Save the World. And for those of you guys that don't know about the Storm King's Wrath, it is kind of a big deal, and you guys might have gathered that from my intro clip. This weapon right here is the best weapon in the entire set to use against the Mythic Storm King himself. I would say that the listing goes from the rocket launcher to the sword to the hammer to the assault rifle to the pistol. Now that list is a little bit different whenever you are in the actual game itself, but whenever you are using these weapons onto the Storm King itself, the Storm King's Wrath is by far the best. This weapon is absolutely fantastic and can one-hit the crystals on the Storm King under the right circumstances. And speaking of which, the gameplay in the background you guys are watching is me three-manning the Mythic Storm King with my friend Potterhead and David, who's known as Field Agent Reaper. I have his link in the description if you guys want to follow him on Twitch. But yeah, we decided to go and three-man the Mythic Storm King, all of us using the Mythic Storm King launcher to just kind of showcase the power of it and all that kind of stuff. If you guys are watching this video, I do appreciate it. My man A1 Get This Money came out with a video that has 115,000 views like a week ago. So if you guys have already watched that video and you're watching this one, I love you. And if you haven't watched that video, go check out A1 Get This Money. He's a really good content creator. But let's go and talk about the Mythic Storm King rocket launcher, because this thing is insane, man. Whenever it comes to the Mythic Storm King rocket launcher, you have one of the most unique weapons in the entirety of the game. Basically, you just have the Storm King's head on the end of the launcher, and you use it to shoot the laser beam that the Storm King normally shoots. The good thing about this rocket is that this is a hit scan rocket launcher, meaning that it does not shoot out a projectile. Whenever you pull the trigger or click your mouse, instantly you are going to hit an enemy with a laser. You can also charge this thing up so that it can ricochet off of enemies, and charge it up even further to ricochet off of even more enemies. It doesn't increase your range and it doesn't increase your damage, but it allows you to hit more enemies at a time, allowing this one laser to be single target and multi-target. The reason this thing is such a good single target weapon is, like I said, not only because of the hit scan, but also because of the ridiculous amount of damage that this thing can put out. I mean, you guys probably already see it from the gameplay in the background, but I can go ahead and put up a smasher test really quick. You guys are going to see me get one non-crit and then one crit right after that. And that is without charging this weapon whatsoever. Like I said, this thing can output upwards of 2.7 million damage with just one click. You don't even need to charge it to hit those types of damage numbers on this thing. It is ridiculous. It is a hit scan, single target, and multi-target rocket launcher that absolutely decimates anything in its path. Whenever we actually finally go and take a look at the perks on this weapon, this is what it says as the unique perk. It says charging this weapon causes the laser to split and chain to multiple targets on hitting. Longer charge times increase the number of splits up to a max of 3, and charge shots generate more heat and consume more ammo. And if you guys are curious on how this actually looks, here is some gameplay in the background of me going into an encampment mission and trying it out there. Basically, this thing just jolts all around and kills an entire encampment in only 2 shots. It is pretty impressive. Going on to the rest of the perks that we do have on this list, we have crit rating, crit damage, and damage. You'll notice that the element I have on this weapon is physical, and why is that? That is because on the Storm King, physical is the best element. So if you are trying to get the most out of your weapons whenever you go back and actually fight the Storm King, in my case, I do Storm King carries over on Twitch a lot. You know, we've already carried like upwards of 50 plus people and actually helped them get their mythic weapons. And so this weapon right here is a big deal to me, and I'm really only going to use it in that mythic Storm King fight because I can one hit those crystals and kill the mini boss with ease. So I want to have physical on this thing because I want to do that multi-million amount of damage every chance I get as consistent as possible, instead of having it, you know, drop down a few notches by using energy. So those are the perks that I go with on this weapon. You can obviously change it to energy if, you know, the Storm King fight isn't your cup of tea and you don't want to keep doing it. That is 100% fine, but that is the reason why I have physical. Now, moving on to the hero loadout. Now, this isn't the hero loadout that you are currently seeing as the gameplay in the background, but it is a hero loadout that I put together as it's a pretty flexible rocket launcher loadout. What I have is Saurian Might with Rex Jonesy with Blast from the Past. The reason I have him is because he is flexible with any weapon in your arsenal. Any weapon, whether it be a launcher, an assault rifle, a shotgun, a sniper rifle, this guy will buff it. Anything that is considered a ranged weapon will get buffed from Rex Jonesy, so you're not only locked to launchers exclusively. So I go with Rex Jonesy, go with Blast from the Past, Saurian Hide and Saurian Focus, go with explosive rounds because, well, I don't know, there wasn't really anything else I thought to put there. You could probably put Locked and Reloaded, or you can put something like Mad Tidings if you want to be crazy about it. But I put explosive rounds because it sounded like a fun thing to do, have every few kills, you know, actually explode when using this thing. Faster explosions, which comes from Penny, which will give us more launcher damage, and Going Coconuts, this will help me heal and get an extra damage boost at the same time. So it's a pretty well-rounded loadout if you do want to use this launcher and get the most out of it that you can, while also trying to be pretty flexible with any other weapons in your loadout. Now, I have spoken a lot about this mythic launcher as being a really good launcher, and that being said, of course it is. It is a very good launcher. It is the best launcher in the game. There is no other way that you can put this other than saying that this is the best launcher in the entire game. It's got the best damage, it's got the easiest usability, it is a single target weapon, it is a multi-target weapon. It is fantastic. However, it does have a few downsides. So this weapon is a cooling weapon just like any of the others. So if you shoot it way too fast or you charge it up or anything like that, it will have a cooldown. So 5 normal shots will cause it to cool down, and 1 really big charge shot should cause it to cool down as well. Not really anything much of a con, but I figured that I would mention it. There are a few things that are actually bad about this weapon, and one of which really isn't too big a deal, but I do want to mention it, and that is the range. Because this weapon is a hit scan weapon and it is a laser, it just can't keep on going forward for however long and then explode. This weapon actually does have a range on it, and during the Mythic Storm King fight, you may see me shoot a few duds with this weapon and it actually not hit the crystal, and that is because that this does have a limited range. So you do have to get a little bit close to your enemies before you do use it. You don't have to get extraordinarily close, but it would be nice if it did have a range of 5,000 like the Wraith and the Bundle Bus, rather than a range of 3,000. Just a little bit of a trade-off there, thought I would mention it. Another thing I noticed is that this weapon just seemingly has less durability, and that is probably mainly due to how fast you can shoot it, given that it is a hit scan thing. So you will notice that you will have to craft more of these the more that you use them, as compared to some of the other explosive weapons that you have. Lastly, the last con that I have with this weapon is the fact that it will eat your energy ammo alive. This thing uses energy ammo like no other energy weapon I have ever seen in the history of this game. So you better have a lot of batteries on board, because this thing will eat them alive. Just like the face on the front of the weapon, that is where you're putting your batteries. There are a few cons with this weapon, and the ammo being the biggest con of them all. I have never seen a weapon eat so much ammo before in my life. However, that does not take away from the fact that the Storm King's Wrath is indeed the best rocket launcher in the game, and is by far the most flexible one that you could possibly use. I just really wanted to point out that, you know, with these mythic weapons, they aren't all fun and games in the sense that they're completely, you know, flawless or anything like that. They do have their problems. The Storm King's Wrath does have some pretty big glaring ones, but the reason for that is because of how strong it really is. If you want to be able to output a very consistent 2+ million amount of damage with nearly every shot without even having to charge it, you are going to have some downsides, and that's going to be your ammo and your range. But those upsides to this weapon far outweigh the downsides, and if you just do a little bit of farming and kind of get yourself ready, then, you know, you'll be able to kind of skid past those pretty easily without really noticing them. Well, that's pretty much my review of the Storm King's Wrath. By far one of the best weapons in the set, the best weapon in the set when it comes to fighting the Storm King, and it is pretty ridiculous, man. I'm a very big fan of this weapon. It's something that if you do get, do not underestimate it. I know in the past, you know, whenever you do get weapons, it's always the rocket launcher that people never really cared about the most. You know, you got the assault rifle at the top of the food chain, and then you got the people that think the sword is cool, and then the pistol, and then, well, the rocket launcher, you know, it's a rocket launcher. You know, no one really gets all that hyped about rocket launchers as much as they do with other weapons. Storm King's Wrath, on the other hand, this is a weapon you should get hyped for. This is a weapon that you should be freaking out if you actually get it, because it will make your life so much easier than any other weapon in the entirety of the game could possibly do. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That is my review of the Storm King's Wrath. It is the best rocket launcher in the game, hands down, and I am so happy to finally get this weapon. I can finally add it to my arsenal, and I only have 2 more mythic weapons to go until I can actually collect them all. But yeah, guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy. Have a good Thanksgiving if you do celebrate Thanksgiving, by the way. I know we did have the Christmas intro, but Thanksgiving is today, so I'm gonna get fat, and yeah, probably sometime after you're seeing this video that is actually going on. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new. Make videos like this almost every single day. Thank you guys for 83,000 subscribers, and I'll see you all next time.